big week, massive week, bigger than I expected when I started writing this, to be honest. Let me try to walk you through it without trying to miss anything. Um, Jürgen Klopp is the new Germany head coach, sort of. Officially, he's agreed. Fabrizio Romano did his "Here we go" catchphrase, I think was a Sunday morning, forgot. And now the DFB, the German Football Organization, is finalizing the long-term contract, the project parameters, and Klopp's exit from Red Bull. Klopp also has, a contract with Adidas and Opel as sponsorship, while the German Football Organization has Nike starting now after the World Cup next year, and VW, Volkswagen as the official sponsor. So that's gonna be stuff that needs to be ironed out, but it very much looks like Klopp's gonna be the next guy. Red Bull is reportedly pushing for a compensation fee. If they were to block this deal, they will never sell another can in Germany again. So I don't think they're gonna stand in the way. If you know how people feel about Red Bull in Germany as in general as like a football brand, this is their one chance to give us something back and to change their image. So I don't think they will be stopping that. So it's going to be happening. The four-time world champions have replaced Julian Nagelsmann with the most successful German coach of the last 2 decades. 2 years before his Nagelsmann's contract was actually up, by the way, which means the DFB is paying him a hefty severance to walk away. Reportedly 7 million, which is like 1 year salary. That's its own separate coach's eye moment. The DFB just burned real money to make sure Nagelsmann was gone before Klopp could second guess the decision. That's how much they want to just change, right? 2 years to the day, by the way, after Klopp said he was too tired to coach anyone anywhere. And he's not tired anymore. Quote, "When I stopped at Liverpool, I lacked the energy for even one more year with the club, and I'm more than recharged now." That's what he said. So Klopp has been recharged for a while now, a while working that corporate soccer job for Red Bull, and now Germany calls, and the energy is back. Great timing. I mean, the timing really fits right now. We're going to do this as a proper coach's eye in a little bit, of course, because there's a lot to talk about. What Klopp inherits, what he changes, why it's a good fit, why it might be a disaster, and what the Wirtz reunion, not reunion, maybe the Wirtz going back to his old roots. That's what I mean. What that could mean, because I think he will play Wirtz differently. Also this week, and this one is going to be a bit uncomfortable. The president of the United States called FIFA and got a red card revoked. We know that by now. Folarin Balogun, sorry, USA's top scorer at this World Cup with 3 goals, was red carded in the round of 32 against Bosnia for stepping on Tariq Muharamevic, I think that's the name, his ankle. Automatic 1-game suspension. Trump called Infantino. FIFA overturned it. Balogun played Belgium last night. And then Belgium beat the USA 4-1. Charles de Ketelaere scored twice and assisted a third. Lukaku got the fourth in the 93rd minute. Balogun had 10 touches in the first half, the fewest of any player on the pitch. His one big chance was saved by Courtois. Pulisic was subbed off with about 20 minutes ago and was seen on the bench crying into his own shirt. And Belgium's official X account and IG accounts, after the final whistle, posted 2 words as a caption: "Overturn this." That's the tweet, that's the post, that's the caption, 2 words, and an emoji. That's the greatest Football Federation tweet in modern memory, I would suggest. We're going to talk about the Trump-FIFA situation probably, and about what happened when Belgium got to actually play the match instead of just complain about it. Also, football has produced the round of 16 from hell for the pre-tournament favorites. Brazil are out. Norway beat them 2-1. Ancelotti's project is over. Canada are out, 3-0 to Morocco as the hosts, but not surprising. Mexico are out to England 2-3 as the other hosts. USA are out to Belgium 4-1, which means all 3 co-hosts have been eliminated in the round of 16. Portugal are out to Spain 1-0, and then what was almost certainly Cristiano Ronaldo's last ever World Cup match, but never say never. He'll only be 45 next time around. And Capo Verde went out to Argentina 3-2 in extra time in a match. Argentina were, and I quote, "hectic and uninspiring and lackluster and complacent against a team of 600,000 people." We're going to sit with the Capo Verde story for another minute or so, because that's with something with a real coaching lesson in it. And we're going to say goodbye to Ronaldo at a World Cup because that's actually some sort of moment. Plus, a quick word on the NBA because free agency has completely reshuffled the league. Giannis in Miami, Kawhi back in Toronto. Let's see. Jaylen Brown is a Sixer, Paul George is a Celtic, and LeBron just told the Lakers that he's leaving. Crazy. Shams must be so happy. Meanwhile, the Warriors are quietly trying to build the oldest super team in the history of basketball, and we're gonna spend a minute on why it's either the greatest final chapter ever or a disaster in slow motion. I'm Sasha, 20 years coaching team sport. This is Tactic, the show where we watch sport the way a coach watches it. Let's go. All right, we start with the coach's eye on what Klopp inherits, right? So part one, what actually happened? Timeline, Sunday, June 29th. Germany lose to Paraguay on penalties. 16 hours later, Monday, the DFB holds a 3.5-hour meeting with Nagelsmann and asks him to resign. He does, because he gets 7 million for it. Friday, the DFB confirms Nagelsmann's departure and announces they're speaking to Klopp. Klopp, working as a pundit for Magenta TV, comes on air on Friday evening and says, quote, "Yes, I can confirm the talks. Julian resigned and the DFB is working on a succession plan. And over the course of these deliberations, they have reached out to me." Then Sunday, Fabrizio Romano posts Jürgen Klopp as new Germany head coach. Here we go. And here we are. Klopp has agreed. The details are being finalized. Red Bull is going to want compensation for losing a global head of soccer. And the DFB will pay it because I think they might pay something. I don't know how much they're going to pay or if they some sort of other deal, sponsorship deal will be involved, but the DFB will pay something because they need this appointment to be done before the World Cup ends and the football world moves on. Yeah, Klopp will be announced formally sometime in the next 2 weeks. He'll spend the rest of the summer studying tape. The first competitive German match under his command will be in September's international window, I believe, in the Nations League. 2 years, 22 months, if you're being precise, until Euro 28 in the UK and Ireland. And that's a perfect starting tournament for Jürgen Klopp, who was so successful in England. And that's why it's a good fit. And yeah, honestly, I do like this appointment like everybody else, of course. I'm going to tell you why I like it. And I'm also going to tell you why it might still not work, though. So first of all, my 3 reasons, as always, why it's a good fit. Yeah, well, number one, Klopp is a transitions coach in a squad built for transitions. And Nagelsmann's tactical DNA is possession-based, sure. Build from the back, control the midfield, dominate the ball, wait for a moment, another moment, endless moments. That doesn't fit the players Germany currently has. Musiala, Wirtz, Brown, Amiri, Undorf, you name it. These are like quick, okay, Undorf, but these are quick, direct, like high-energy players. They're not sit back and circulate midfielders. And this system is outdated anyways. They're runners, pressers, break line players. That's what you play in club football. Klopp's Liverpool won a Champions League with exactly this player profile. Salah, Firmino, Mane, Anderson, you name it. The template exists. Number 2, he's been openly critical of German youth development for years. In a Bundesliga interview a while ago, he said, and I quote, "For me, development in Germany ends too early. We stop giving players opportunities too early and judge whether an 18 or 19-year-old has what it takes. That's a huge issue." That's a coach who's already thought about the structural problem of German football, not just the tactical one. If he's going to fix Germany, he can't just fix the starting 11. He has to influence how the DFB thinks about the pipeline, the under-21s, the Bundesliga relationship with young players. He can, and I think he will. Number 3, I think he's going to fix Wirtz. 2 weeks ago in this show, we talked about how Wirtz was being wasted on the left wing by both Slot at Liverpool and Nagelsmann for Germany. Smitzer said if you buy Wirtz and play him as a left winger, you throw the money away. His best position is behind the striker. Klopp is going to play Wirtz as a number 10. It's just going to happen. Klopp is a coach who plays Coutinho, Firmino, Salah, and Mane in the same forward line. He knows what a creative number 10 looks like, and he knows how to use one. Wirtz under Klopp will be a completely different player. That £160 million Liverpool investment might finally start to look like a bargain if the German version of him shows up at Euro 28. Now, I told you and will also tell you why it might still not work. And here's the honest counter argument. 3 reasons this is risky, okay? Number 1 is national team coaching is not club coaching. Klopp has never coached a national team. His entire career has been building teams over seasons. Mainz, Dortmund, Liverpool. Where you have your players every day, you run tactics every training, and you build habits over months. National team coaches get maybe 5 training sessions before a tournament. You don't get to build the gegenpress over a summer. You have to bring it out of players who play different styles at their club. Löw did this. Jogi Löw. Jürgen Klinsmann did this. Klopp has never done it so far. But, I mean, you gotta start it somewhere, so I'm just saying. Klopp acknowledged the problem himself. His most interesting quote from the Magenta interview with Johannes Bekerner was this. It's the one that got underreported. This isn't only about Julian Nagelsmann. That's Klopp saying publicly before he takes the job, that the German football project has structural problems that go beyond one coach. And he's right. But it means the DFB just hired someone who's already told them they're not going to fix this quickly. Euro 28 might be too soon. The real Klopp Germany peak might be 2030, 2032, if he stays that long. Number 3 is the energy question. Klopp said he's more than recharged now. Fine. But he was so burned out at Liverpool in 2024 that he left mid-cycle at the peak of his powers because he had nothing left. Coaching Germany is lower daily volume than Liverpool, but tournament football is higher pressure. He's going to be under a microscope every friendly. The German press isn't gentle, as you know, and if Germany draw with Austria in September's Nations League match, which is entirely possible, the coverage will be brutal. Can Klopp handle that? Does he want to handle that? He said he can. We'll see. So my honest read on this is, I think Klopp gets Germany to the semi-final in the Euros 28. That's my prediction. It's a home game for him, which is more than Nagelsmann was going to do. He wins a match against a top team that Nagelsmann Germany would have lost to. He plays the Wirtz where he's supposed to be played. He turns Musiala into the tournament's best player. He probably loses in the semi-final to England or France. At the German bracket usually breaks it away, we know that. And everyone will say the Klopp era was a success even if he didn't win it all. The 2030 World Cup in Spain, Portugal and Morocco is the real target, we know that. Klopp will have had 4 years by then. That's the tournament Germany could actually win under him. But the DFB has to give him time. And Germany fans have to give him time. And neither of those is guaranteed. Okay, that was the Klopp story, it was fun. But now the story I've been dreading, because this is just bad for football. And then it got a little bit more entertaining once the football actually got played. So coach's eye on Trump calling FIFA and then Belgium winning anyways. So what happened? Wednesday, July 1st, USA Bosnia in the round of 32. USA are winning 2-0 in stoppage time. Balogun, 25 years old, born in Brooklyn, plays for Monaco, chose USA over England. Good for him. And had been the Germans' leading American scorer with, I think, 3 goals, and he steps on Tariq Muharemovic, ankle. The referee doesn't immediately show a card. The VAR sends the ref to the monitor. Referee with it, red card. Automatic 1-game suspension. Balogun misses the round of 16 match against Belgium. Except, Trump calls Infantino on Sunday. FIFA announces that the implementation of the match suspension is suspended for the probationary period of 1 year, which is FIFA speak for Balogun can play. Trump posts on Truth Social, "Thank you to FIFA for doing what was right and reversing a great injustice. President Donald J. Trump." Balogun is now available for the USA-Belgium match Monday night. The Belgian Federation appealed. The FIFA Appeal Committee ruled Belgium had no standing to appeal because they weren't a party to the original proceedings, which is a nice sentence to write down and read back to yourself. Belgium is directly affected by the suspension. The suspension is what determines whether Balogun plays their match, but they don't have a standing to appeal it. The FIFA rulebook is what the FIFA rulebook says. So Balogun played and Belgium beat the USA 4-1. So here's the football story. Let me walk you through the match because it deserves to be walked through, okay? So Charles de Ketelaere, Atalanta forward, has been the best Belgian at this tournament so far. Scored in the 9th minute of a Ruskin pass across the goal. USA offered basically nothing until Malik Tillman deflected free kick equalized around the 30th minute. That was the USA's first shot. Belgium responded 2 minutes later. De Ketelaere put another one in, halftime, 2-1 Belgium. By the way, De Ketelaere, I think, will not be at Atalanta for much longer. Second half, USA goalkeeper Matt Freese made an error that led to a crazy third goal. Then in the 93rd minute, Chris Richards tried to dribble out of pressure in his own third. It didn't work. The ball bounced to Lukaku. Lukaku cut inside and curled a low finish into the bottom corner, 4-1. Balogun had 10 touches in the first half, the fewest of any player. His one meaningful chance was a 1-on-1 with Courtois in the second half. Courtois saved it. Balogun was subbed off with about 10 minutes to go. Christian Pulisic came off before that. He was seen crying on the bench with a shirt over his face. And then, at the final whistle, Belgium's official Federation X account posted overturned this. With this one two-word tweet, the Belgian Federation summarized the entire coaching integrity issue with FIFA's decision. It also went viral because it was correct. So the real coach's eye is what I want to say, right? The Balogun controversy did not end with the USA winning winning the red card being overturned and with Belgium winning the match. So Belgium was the better team. Belgium was better organized, Belgium won. Great. But that does not fix what FIFA did. That's what I mean with this. And by the way, before going to this, Balogun came to talk to the Belgian coach, said he's sorry for what happened, and the coach said, like, hey, it's not your fault. Like, you didn't ask for this. We're not mad at you. And that's true, because that's what FIFA did. And I said it last week, the issue was never about whether Balogun should have been available. The issue was that FIFA had to be asked by the president of the host country for the suspension to be reviewed. If Balogun's red card was as questionable as some pundits argued, then FIFA should have been able to review it based on football alone. They didn't. They reviewed it because the president called Infantino. That's the corruption of process, not the specific outcome. And the football result kind of proves it. The USA lost 4-1 with Balogun. They would have lost without him too, of course. Belgium was going through regardless. So what did Trump's intervention actually accomplish? It gave FIFA a public black eye. It gave Belgium a viral tweet. It gave the football world permanent example of what happens when a host country's political leadership starts calling FIFA about referee decisions. If FIFA wanted to be independent, this is where they had to say no. They didn't. They said, quote, a similar implementation of the rule under Article 27 of its bylaws had already been put into effect for the 2026 World Cup, most likely referring to a decision to suspend a 3-match ban against Ronaldo, which is FIFA's way of saying, don't worry, we did this to Ronaldo too. Which is not a defense of the process, it's an admission that the process is broken. The historical precedent I mentioned last week, Brazil's Garrincha in 1962, happened in an era before FIFA had a modern rulebook. Now FIFA has a modern rulebook, and it turns out the rulebook lets you overrule referees if you know the right people. Nothing has changed. Only the political theory is more sophisticated. Yeah, Belgium's coach Rudy Garcia said after the match, we showed that Belgium is a great football nation. The players were outstanding and followed the game plan perfectly. That's how a coach handles a controversy like this, by winning the match and letting football speak. Belgium did their part. But FIFA still owes football an answer. And so far, they haven't given one. Now Belgium plays Spain in the quarterfinal on Friday. Totally here for it. Spain, greatly the favorite, of course, but still here for it. Belgium really came alive. But okay, hey, let's talk about the actual football because there's been a lot of it to catch up on. Cabo Verde's exit is one of the best stories of the tournament, and I've been waiting to probably do it. So the learnings from Cabo Verde. Argentina beat Cabo Verde 3-2 after extra time on Friday in Miami. Argentina's press coverage the next morning called it, and I quote from CBS Sports, hectic, uninspiring. Yahoo called Argentina lackluster and complacent. Argentina, the defending World Cup champion, by the way, the greatest player in football history, a squad valued at over €1 billion, was described that way after a match against a country of 600,000 people. So let me walk you through what happened. Cabo Verde entered the match having only trailed for 16 minutes across the entire World Cup. That's across 3 group stages matches against Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. Not a type, 16 minutes. Argentina had, of course, dominated the group. Messi scored in the 29th minute. Nice lift over the on-rushing keeper Bosnia of a Lisandro Martinez ball over the top. That's his 20th career World Cup goal, all-time record, ahead of Klose, ahead of everyone. His 7th goal this tournament, leading the Golden Boot race, of course. Cabo Verde equalized in the 59th. Leroy Duarte, midfielder at Ludo Goretz of Bulgaria fame, got space in the box of a right wing move, finished through Martinez's legs. 1-1. Regulation ended, tied. Extra time, 33rd minute of extra time. Martinez rips a shot from a corner into the top of the goal, 2-1. Then, 103rd minute, Sidney Lopez Cabral curling a shot from the edge of the box into the top left corner. Amazing. Goal of the tournament so far. Then Bosnia, the 40-year-old goalkeeper, was diving flat out and got so many saves in this game. Crazy. Cabo Verde's history-making equalizer, back to that one though, was amazing. And They kept it all open until the 111th minute. Messi corner, Romero header, Borges deflected it, own goal, 3-2 Argentina. Cabo Verde still had 10 minutes to equalize. Messi curled another free kick at Vosinha at the goal, and Vosinha saved it. Cabo Verde had a chance to tie again, couldn't convert. Argentina survived. Just what the numbers say, right? Cabo Verde's goalkeeper made 8 saves. Argentina had, per the reporting, 60+% possession, but couldn't turn it into control. Messi himself in the post-match press conference was surprisingly honest, quote, "When we wanted to jump from the defensive pivot, it was too far a distance for the center backs and we ended up a bit disjointed. They always had an extra man because we couldn't match up, and that's why they kept the ball and made us run, because we couldn't press them thoroughly." Messi talking about Cabo Verde, saying his team couldn't press them thoroughly. Like read that quote twice. So what's the lesson from Cabo Verde? Cabo Verde is what the 48-team World Cup was made for. They are a country of 600,000. Their coach is Bubista Pedro Leitao Brito, a man who has spent his career developing the national football culture from scratch. They qualified for the first ever World Cup. They drew Spain. They drew Uruguay. They took the defending champions to extra time in the round of 32. And they had chances to equalize and maybe even win it. And the way they did it wasn't magic. It was coaching. Bubista built a defensive shape that Spain and Uruguay couldn't easily break. He built a team that could soak pressure and counter. He gave his 40-year-old goalkeeper, Vosinha, the confidence to play like he was 25. He convinced Borges, Duarte, Sidney Lopez Cabral, none of whom play in top 5 leagues, that they belonged on the same pitch as Messi. And when Messi actually said in a public quote that they couldn't press Cabo Verde properly, that was a compliment. That was Bubista's coaching coming out of Messi's mouth. Compare Bubista's tournament to Nagelsmann's tournament, right? Same amount of matches, very different resources. Bubista worked with a squad that would fit into a single Bundesliga club's youth academy. He had 4 points in the group and pushed Argentina to extra time. Nagelsmann had every resource a national team could ask for and got dumped in the round of 32 on penalties to Paraguay. The lesson isn't that Cabo Verde are secretly a great team. The lesson is that what you get out of a team is proportional to how well you coach it. And Bubista coached his team above their pay grade for the entire tournament. Nagelsmann coached his team well below theirs. And the bigger point, I had concerns about the 48-team format. I thought it might dilute the tournament, but Cabo Verde has proven that concern wrong. So is Curaçao with their goalkeeper heroics against Ecuador. So have other teams. The 48-team format has made the tournament bigger, not necessarily weaker. There are more stories, there are more countries in the story. That's a good thing. Cabo Verde are going home, but they should walk out of Miami with their heads high. And if you see how they are being celebrated at home, is fantastic. This was the greatest tournament in their football history, and it happened because they were coached well, they showed up prepared, and they refused to accept the narrative that they were supposed to be here just to make up the numbers. Bubista, if you're listening, well done. That was amazing. Now the rest of the round of 16 has been a bloodbath for some of the pre-tournament favorites, for some of them, and it's included what might have been the greatest career's final World Cup moment. Let's see. So the favorites are dying-ish, and so is Ronaldo's World Cup career. Norway, Brazil, 2-1. Norway beat Brazil. Ancelotti's Portugal is over. 2 matches ago, Brazil needed a 95th minute Martinelli winner to beat Japan. Now they've lost to Norway. Coach's eye here in one paragraph. Ancelotti's structural approach was fighting against the Brazilian instinct to attack, and it never resolved. And Brazil showed up nervous in every knockout. Norway did the same thing Cabo Verde did. Coached above their pay grade, defended organized, took their chances. Haaland scored twice, sure. Odegaard was excellent. The dark horse I picked pre-tournament just knocked out a third betting favorite. Norway are in the quarterfinal. My Spain, Argentina, France, then look at Norway prediction from May is looking sharper, by the way. You're welcome. Morocco 3, Canada 0. Nothing much to talk about. Morocco way better, of course. Morocco did Morocco things. Beating Netherlands, then beating Canada. Now the 2022 semifinalists are now in the quarterfinals again. They face France on Thursday, which is the biggest match of the round of 16, I think. In terms of narrative, North African revenge match, if you will. In 2022, France knocked Morocco out, I think, in the semi-final, if I'm not mistaken. So Morocco has the chance to return that favor. For Canada, next host nation eliminated. Not a disaster. They played well, better than expected probably, so this was good for them. England 3, Mexico 2, second host nation gone. Mexico had the Azteca, could not hold off England, though Tuchel, the German coach of the English national team, by the way, actually did his tactical work very well. Bellingham scored twice within 2 minutes. England advanced to face Norway, which will be also a very cool match to watch. France won, Paraguay nil. This was crazy. This had flavor because Paraguay eliminated Germany, of course, and France beat them 1-0. Now Paraguay going home too, but wow, 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 wow. They played so dirty, unbelievable. Did not get a single yellow card. Crazy. Good job on France for making it through, but wow. And Belgium 4, USA 1. We covered this already. Third host nation gone. All three hosts eliminated. Overturned this, right? Last one, Spain 1, Portugal nil. Ronaldo's last World Cup, maybe. And this deserves a quick minute because this was almost certainly his last World Cup match. And Ronaldo announced on Sunday before the match that this would be his final World Cup. His words from the pre-match press conference: "This will be my last World Cup, but let's hope tomorrow isn't my last game. The day will come, but I'll be honest, whatever happens tomorrow, Cristiano will leave with a clear conscience, not 100%, but 1,000%, because I've given everything in soccer. I don't need it. I have a good life, but it's about passion. I play football because I love it." Cool. Then he played Portugal against Spain in Dallas. Ronaldo tried a bicycle kick. Cool. Unai Simon saved it. Nuno Mendes fired a ball across goal that Porto deflected onto the crossbar. That was Portugal's best moment, I think. Spain with Yamal, Olmo, and technical superiority, of course, dominated possession and shots. And the Portuguese goalkeeper, Diogo Costa, was excellent. Yeah, saves from Yamal and Baena and another from Dani Olmo. He kept Portugal in as long as he could. Then, 91st minute, substitute on Ferran Torres, slipped the ball into the box. It was nice also from Merino was involved, I think. Who met it at the near post, now that I think back at it. So Spain won, Portugal nil. Spain's 6th consecutive clean sheet at the tournament. Ronaldo on the pitch when the goal went in, walked off knowing that was probably his last World Cup match. Finishes his World Cup career with 3 goals at this tournament: a brace against Uzbekistan, a penalty against Croatia, 9 World Cup goals total across 5 tournaments. He'll be remembered as one of the greatest players of the modern era, and he never won the trophy. That's football. Messi got his moment in 2022. Ronaldo will never get his. I want to be honest, I've not been Ronaldo's biggest fan across his career. His theatrics on the pitch, the reliance on his own PR, some of the individual style over team play, but the man's got more international goals than anyone else in football history. He won 5 Ballon d'Ors. He carried Portuguese football for 2 decades. Whatever you think of him, that career deserves a proper goodbye. This wasn't it. He lost and lost late, but it was still his goodbye, and it's kind of a moment. Ronaldo out, Portugal out, Spain into the quarterfinals to face Belgium. So the favorite picture, post-round of 16, the favorite list still looks like this. Spain are still my pick to win. Best team in the tournament, 6 clean sheets. Yamal slowly in form. Argentina facing Egypt should win, of course, remain in narrative mode, of course. France are through and face Morocco. England are through and face Norway. Norway alive and dangerous. Morocco, I mean, we just said it, but alive and dangerous. And Belgium are alive after answering their critics with actual football. So good job. Who's out? Brazil's out. Netherlands out. Germany out. Okay, Canada, USA, Mexico, Paraguay, Portugal are all gone. Yeah, that's what tournament football looks like at its best or worst: chaotic, undeserving, cruel, sometimes beautiful. All right, that was the World Cup part. Now the last part here, last 5 minutes, very quickly, about the NBA. You're like, yeah, NBA is an off-season. Yes, but the off-season has eaten itself, and the Warriors want to be old. So free agency opened, and since then, I'm going to just list it because if I explain each one, we'll be here for another 20 minutes. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been traded to the Miami Heat. 2-time MVP, Milwaukee. In replacement, got, let me check, Tyler Hero, Khalil War, Jamie Chakis Jr., and the first 3 round picks and a bag of assets. Giannis is now in South Beach. The Bucks have completely restructured around a rebuild. This is the biggest trade of the summer, right? We have Kawhi being traded from the Clippers back to Toronto, where he won the championship in 2019. So the Clippers, they got Ingram, Garland, and picks. Kawhi at 35 is probably in his last home. Might be a nice arc at the end. We have Jaylen Brown and Paul George swapping teams, which surprised everybody. The Celtics traded their homegrown 2017 draft pick for an aging Sixers swing. Nobody expected this. Both teams are in different betting windows right now, right? Sixers future-oriented and let's do stuff now. And I think Paul George's contract is running out, so I guess that's why Boston did it. LaMelo is a Timberwolf. Ja Morant is a Trailblazer. Julius Randle is a Net. Walker Kessler signed a 4-year, $130 million deal with the Lakers via sign and trade, and Anthony Simmons is a Sixer. So many things happening. The Knicks also lost Mitchell Robinson, which was interesting. Well, to be expected more or less, but still, there's a very thin margin for error with New York. Um, Now I'm really curious to see how they try to hold on to the championship. And then there are the Warriors. Yeah, that part is kind of interesting because LeBron told the Lakers he's leaving. He's a free agent for the first time since 2018, and the team that's making the biggest, loudest, most nostalgic run at him is Golden State. So let me walk you through what the Warriors are trying to do here because it's remarkable and interesting. Draymond Green declined his player option, not because he wants to leave, but because he will be a Warrior forever. But that opens up more cap flexibility to sign a bigger name. Then they have Porzingis. Yeah, we know his glass-rimmed history of injuries, but still a legit 7-foot floor spacer. Signed a 2-year, $40 million extension. And the plan is sign LeBron in free agency at the mid-level exception, around $50 million a year. Simultaneously trade for Anthony Davis, who is currently on the Wizards. The pitch to LeBron is, hey, reunite with AD, team up with Steph Curry and Draymond Green, play for Steve Kerr and chase one more championship with the oldest core the NBA has ever seen. Let me tell you ages. LeBron, 48. Anthony Davis, 33 with a history of missing 40-plus games a year. Steph Curry, 38. Draymond Green, 36. Porzingis, 30. And has knee issues. Steve Curry, 60. That's your Golden State starting 5-plus coach. Combined age of the core 5, if you're keeping score, 178. The Warriors are trying to build the oldest super team in NBA history. So why they might actually do it? The pitch has logic, right? LeBron wants to compete for a title. He's not gonna rebuild. He's not going to a lottery team. The Warriors have Curry, who's still a legit top 15 player in the league, and a coach who's won 4 championships. If AD is a trade piece, LeBron gets his best friend, his championship coach, and one of the greatest shooters in history, all in one package. The pitch essentially writes itself. And the Warriors have cap flexibility now. Draymond opts out, Porzingis team-friendly deal, and the possibility of using Jimmy Butler as a trade filler for AD. Butler's on an expiring $56 million contract, so the money works out. Means the trade math is doable. Now, why is it a terrible basketball idea? Quick coach's eye on this. Number one, this doesn't fix what the Warriors actually need. The Warriors don't need more scoring. They have Steph. They need defense. They need athleticism. They need players who can run. Adding a 40-year-old LeBron and a 33-year-old AD does not fix any of those problems. It makes some of them worse. LeBron at 48 is not the defender he was at 30. AD is not the rim protector he was at 27. And the Warriors need young legs, and they are signing old legs. Number two, title windows don't work like this. Historically, the last hurrah super team has one of two outcomes. Either the pieces click for one magical run, 22 Lakers with LeBron and AD, or the whole thing collapses under the weight of injuries and expectations. 2019 Nets with Durant, Kyrie, Harden, and so on. The Warriors are betting on the first outcome. The math says the second outcome is more likely. Adding older players increases variance, it doesn't reduce it. 3, they might not even get him. ESPN's Shams says over the weekend that the Warriors are not actually at the top of LeBron's list. Cleveland is in the mix, Miami is in the mix. The 76ers reached out after the Jaylen Brown trade. 10 to 12 teams have been checked in on LeBron as per Rich Paul. The Warriors have made themselves a story, but the story might not end with them getting him. 4, even if they do get him, they might lose Jimmy Butler. Butler's coming back from ACL surgery. 4 months post-op, he's still on the Warriors' best two-way wing when healthy. Trading him for AD means LeBron 80, but no Butler, versus keeping Butler and hoping he can carry a load. That's not an obvious choice, to be honest. So the coach's eye here is the bigger frame. Boston, the champions from 2 years ago, traded Jaylen Brown for Paul George to reset. They looked at their aging core, they looked at the market, and they made a bet on rebuilding through cap flexibility. The Warriors, meanwhile, are doing the exact opposite. They're doubling down on old. Now, sometimes the old play works. The 22 Lakers with LeBron and AD won championship, but that was 5 years ago, and both players were considerably younger. The Warriors supporting cast, if this all comes together, is Curry, Green, Porzingis, and role players. It's less around LeBron and what he had in LA. The best case for the Warriors, they win a title. Curry gets his 5th, Kerr gets into the Hall of Fame. With a bow, LeBron catches Kareem in rings, everyone retires, the books closes. The worst case, LeBron plays 45 games, AD plays 30, Curry plays every night at 38 because he has to. They finish 6th in the West, they lose in the second round, Kerr looks tired. The Warriors then have to rebuild in 27 with almost nothing left. The median case, probably somewhere in between. First round exit or second round exit with LeBron and Curry having some great highlight nights and everyone acknowledging that the age caught up. I understand the emotional pull of it. Watching Curry and LeBron team up would be one of the great NBA storylines. Not the greatest ever, but emotional pull is not a coaching strategy. The Warriors have to decide, are they trying to win a championship or are they trying to sell one more year of nostalgia? Based on the move so far, it's a nostalgia. And nostalgia teams don't usually win. But we'll come back to the NBA once the season starts in October. For now, Giannis in Miami, Kawhi in Toronto, LeBron somewhere new, and the Warriors trying to assemble the oldest super team in league history. Wild, wild times. Okay, quick wrap. Klopp is the new Germany head coach. Officially, unofficial for now. Probably announced the next 2 weeks, I'm sure. Wirtz is going to be played as number 10, I'm sure, and I'm here for it. Nagelsmann is getting paid a significant severance to disappear. The USA-Trump-FIFA situation ended with Belgium 4-1 USA in the greatest federation twin in football history. Overturned this. Cabo Verde went out with their heads high after a coaching masterclass from Bubista. Ronaldo's World Cup career is over. Spain 1-0 Portugal. Merino 91st. Brazil, Canada, Mexico, USA, Paraguay, Portugal are all out. Spain is still my pick to win. Norway is the dangerous dark horse. The Warriors want to build the oldest super team in NBA history because they can't accept the window has closed. Coming today, Argentina versus Egypt, and tomorrow Switzerland versus Colombia. The quarterfinals start Thursday with France and Morocco. Next episode, quarterfinals will be done. We'll know the semifinalists, and Klopp will probably be formally announced. Plus, maybe more carnage from across the pond. If this was worth your time, subscribe. If it wasn't, also subscribe. The numbers that helps. If anything was wrong, tell me. If anything was unfair, tell me. We're heading into the sharp end of this tournament. I'm here for it. Tactic back next Monday. Thank you for listening.